Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Friday, June 13th, 2025. That's right. It's Friday the 13th. However, that's not why rate sheets are going to take it on the chin today. We're going to talk about why that's actually happening. My name is Hammer. I am your rate sensei, here to teach you all about what's going on with mortgage rates and pricing, why it's happening, and what you can do with that information. So today we're going to talk about what's going on in the Middle East, trouble in the Middle East. There's no flight to safety, though. We didn't see bonds improve. We're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about why they're actually tanking this morning and some of the possible ways that we can react to that. Should we lock? Should we float? What are the merits to each of those? So we're going to play that out. We're also going to talk about what next week brings us for rate sheets. What's coming next for rate sheets? Where do we see things going? Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching on the replay, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Don't forget to smack all the buttons, subscribe, smash that like button, all that good stuff. Also, love to hear your comments. Not only do I love to hear what you have to say, but it does help us with the algorithm and helps us get in front of more people. So appreciate you doing that. If you would like a quick reminder that I'm going live each morning, I send out a text message right as I go live. You can sign up for that and unsubscribe, of course, at any time. We don't sell your information. It's hmmr.io/reminder, or use this cool QR code that's up on the screen. Welcome to all of the live folks. Good morning, Robert Bashirs, Randy Tinkle, Mike Tebow, Mallory Fodiatis, Alison Foy, Chris Dickerson, Mike Morano. Great to have all of you here. Holly Johnson. Happy Friday the 13th. Who else we got here this morning? Colin Jordan, first one to say good morning this morning. Deb Dickinson, Yasmin Martin. All of the familiar faces. Allison Foy, Jerry Avila. Jerry, it was great to see you at the EPM event, man. So anyway, all of y'all, appreciate you being here. Mike Morano, what's my real name on my driver's license? I am not telling you. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get into what we got going on with the world today. So quick recap where we were yesterday. Let's zoom in on the 48-hour chart. I'll refresh the page and let me pop this up. Let's get rid of this. Let's go ahead and pop this up a little bit so it'll be out of the way. Really? I got to... All right, here we go. So taking a look here, you'll see mortgage-backed securities. Actually, hold on. I got to bring a Presentify. There we go. Did it open now? There we go. Okay, so you'll take a look and see that mortgage-backed securities currently down 17 basis points on the day. Not what we want to see. However, yesterday, we saw that this was actually some of the best pricing we had seen in a while. In fact, if we go ahead and take a look at rate sheets, you're looking at 6.85 yesterday. The best we had seen the week before was 6.87. And we actually, anywhere through here, we don't see 6.85, right? So that was some of the best pricing we had seen in a while. You take a look here at the chart, and you will see this green line right here is the 100-day moving average. This red line is the 50-day moving average. Remember, right here, we had seen bonds testing that 50-day moving average. Yesterday, right here, they broke above, boom, broke right through all of those, up above the 100-day moving average. But as we've seen happen in the past, one day above, the next day, a big old red candlestick, one day above, the next day, a big old red candlestick. Now, if you remember, though, yesterday, I was going on and on why I didn't think that was a concern, why we didn't have to worry about seeing the next day turn around and drop down like this. Well, that was before we had a situation where Israel attacked Iran. And that is why we are seeing what we are seeing today. So it changed yesterday's outlook. So again, let's be clear. That was not on the table yesterday. Today it's on the table. That has changed the outlook. So this morning, bonds are taking a bit of a bath. That means rate sheets are going to be worse this morning. It's only 17 basis points. It's not tremendous. Now, normally when you see any kind of military action somewhere in the world, we talk about flight to safety. Bonds are doing well. But yet here we are this morning talking about bonds being down 17 basis points. That is because of fear over rising oil prices. If we take a look here at the headlines, let's just type in oil prices And let me move this over so y'all can see what I see. Let's bounce this over like this. Come on. There we go. All right, so you're going to see, all these headlines like this one at CNN. Oil prices surge and stocks tumble after Israel attacks Iran. Now, again, normally when you see stocks tumble, you would expect to see bonds improving. However, that's been washed out by this. Oil prices surge. Oil prices surge. Sometimes it just seems like they all use the same ChatGPT prompt? Oil prices surge. Up, Reuters said oil jumps at least, right? And then CNBC also oil jumps. So oil prices surge or oil prices jump. Those are the only two adjectives that they know how to use. Actually, those are verbs. But it's kind of funny, right? So that's why you're seeing this morning that rate sheets are going to be worse. As we see bonds, take a look here in the 48-hour chart. You can see it just going down, 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 down. We've got a momentary recovery. I don't know how long that'll last. We will see. So yesterday we were nice and stable, arguably a little bit of improvement this morning, and then so that's just what you're seeing happening, all of this. Now, we're going to talk about whether you should lock or float and where to go with this in a minute. Harry Dennis on the flight back from Africa, tuning in with good reception. Awesome, dude. And I hope Africa was amazing. I actually would like to go visit Africa. So reprice risk on the day is moderate. Again, a couple of things to consider here today. Number one, it is Friday in the summer. Traders generally will take the Friday afternoon off. They're going to be more active this morning than usual because of the situation happening overseas and what we've got going on. So anyway, Iran vows to continue nuclear program despite Israeli strikes. Trump urges Iran to make a nuclear deal to avoid more attacks. Israel strikes take out Iran's supreme leaders, top generals. We're going to see this escalate. This is going to continue, and that's going to be a bit of an issue. That means oil, I don't know how much of the oil we get from Iran. Where is Ron Siegel when you need him to pipe that in the comments, right? But we get enough oil, it's going to shake up the market. I mean, let's face it, the whole Middle East is the oil den. So this is a bit of a concern. This is one area where, like them or hate them, having Trump for president would probably soften this a little bit more than if we had Biden or another Democrat president in, because Trump doesn't mind the idea of drilling here in the United States. So that's going to help us to soften this blow a little bit. Again, this isn't talking politics. It's just observations based on the realities of what we're dealing with. So nobody needs to get their knickers in a twist, but we do want to take a look at that and the expectations for that. So now the outlook for rates, not as bad as it would look when you turn around and see things down 17 basis points. By the way, notice that the 10-year Treasury yield never spiked down. If we had seen a flight to safety, this puppy here would have dropped down, and yet not at all, not even a little bit. All right. Right now, this is a knee-jerk reaction to current events, specifically to the surge or jump in oil pricing. That is why we are seeing mortgage-backed securities. I wouldn't be in a hurry to lock anything this morning, especially on a Friday. And with next week getting, with next week getting the Fed meeting, I think that I don't think we're going to see a huge sell-off that we have to worry about rates spiking on this. So although it's not what we want to see, I don't think we have to panic, especially we're, basically 3 business days away from the Fed meeting. 5 days away from the meeting altogether. And I really do like floating into this Fed meeting. I want to see this last inflation. I know the CPI inflation data is not the Fed's favorite gauge of inflation, but this last meeting, this last inflation reading was really, much better than what was expected. So although the Fed is still going to drag their feet, there are cracks showing in the labor market. there is certain economic weakness, so all of that's going to come in there. Mike Morano, another very well informed gentleman, says, let's take a look. Practically 0% of U.S. oil comes from Iran due to U.S. policy and sanctions. So, yeah, and we still see oil prices rise because Iran obviously provides oil to a lot of other countries, probably a lot to China, since China gets oil from everybody. So that's why it's still a global event when it comes to that. Tim said, where we get oil doesn't matter. It's total oil available in the market that impacts the price. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So that was what I was just saying, and you said it even better. Mike, we get 60% of our oil from Canada. I didn't even know that. So, and the Mikes agree that we get most of our oil from Canada. So anyway, that's what we got going on this morning as far as where things are going to be. Next week, we got the Fed meeting. Today, we got consumer sentiment coming out in about 15 minutes. If that comes in a little bit weaker than expected, we could see that help get a little bit of a recovery. Let me go ahead into the comments and put the chat up for today. Cautiously float everything. By the way, question of the day: who is superstitious? Who is superstitious? Oh, why is that not showing? There we go. Who is superstitious? Friday the 13th. I put 14th. So tell me in the comments who's superstitious. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the screen share for now. Who throws salt over their shoulder? I have a black cat, right? So that is the question of the day. Let's talk about it. Nathan Einkorn, I get my oil from coconuts and essential oil. I don't understand that one. Oh, your oil. Oh, I get it. So who's superstitious? Who believes in Friday the 13th? Bad luck. Who gets in the elevator and always recognizes that it goes from floor 12 to floor 14 and you never see floor 13 even still. Who throws salt over their shoulder? I have a black cat, right? And these two kitties, George is buff, Sophia is tortoise, they call it, torty. But Millie is stone black. Beautiful cat, beautiful eyes. Rob Stewart, very superstitious, but only when it comes to baseball. Yeah, that's true. Like the playoff beard was a thing. Not washing your items is a thing. Nathan Einkorn, I still hold my breath when I drive past cemeteries. Oh, that's crazy. Only if you're a Templar, Tim Kyla. I'll have to Google that and see. I know the Knights Templar. I know what you're talking about. Mike Morano, I'm not because my wife is part witch. Ooh, I'm not going to tell you said that. Brian Reed, I'm not, but when I played baseball was totally. Yeah, isn't it funny that in sports people are definitely superstitious. Robert Bashir, speaking of the cats, hope they're doing well after yesterday. Yeah, I had to go get them yesterday from getting fixed. They were way out of sorts for the first few hours, but they've settled in and they're doing well. Thank you. Yeah, they're doing great. Now I just need to find them a home. And one of the struggles with that is my wife, as y'all know, she volunteers at Feline Urgent Rescue, what they call FUR. And one of the places that they place cats for adoption is in one of the local pet stores here, and not big chain. It's a small mom and pop one. And some of the two cats that were there last time had ended up with ringworm, which is not a worm. They shouldn't even use that term. It's a fungal infection. It's a fungal situation, and it's easily treated, but it takes a while with cats. And the human had it, and there's this whole big thing, and now they don't want to let them have the cats. And again, these kinds of things can happen even in the best of circumstances. A lot of times they get them because they're taking them through the ASPCA to go get fixed. And that is basically just a cat farm or dog farm. It's just, they're just running animals through there. But they are, it's an affordable way to get them surgeries and get them fixed from licensed vets and everything. So, but unfortunately, that was the thing. So anyway, James Mahan, just another day and number in the year. I have bad days when it's not Friday the 13th. Yeah, don't we all? Harry Dennis Rally Hats Baseball. Frank's, I'm not superstitious, just a little stitious. Dad joke, but bump. That's funny. So Mark Clark, good morning. All right. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, y'all. What are y'all doing this weekend? Let me know in the comments. Curious what you guys are up to. I, of course, got the honeydew list stuff, put new tires on the motorcycle. When I went for my epic motorcycle trip, we picked up a screw or a nail or whatever, screw or a bolt or something. We picked it up in the tires. So I changed my own tires. I actually have a hydraulic. Yeah, it's hydraulic. I have a hydraulic or pneumatic air tire changing machine that we bought a few years ago. And because I changed my own tires, and you pop them off the rim and the whole thing, and it still worked, but it's not work like if you had to do it with tire spoons. So I'll be doing that. I'm going to change the brakes. I'm going to change the brake fluid because it's been a while, and you're supposed to change it every 2 years because .4 brake fluid is hydroscopic, I think. Hydrophobic means it repels water. Hydroscopic means it absorbs water. So you actually lose braking power because of the compression of the moisture in the brake fluid versus the hydraulic fluid itself. So if you didn't know that, that's why you can't save opened brake fluid if it's .4. One of them is hydroscopic. There's .3, .4, .5. So, but .4. So I'll be doing a bunch of the bikes. So how's the barn? Barn's going well, my friend. I appreciate you asking. I have the first level of insulation in the barn. However, I need to do a lot more from here to get that wrapped up. Let me show you real quick what the barn is like, since y'all asked, and thank you for that. Hopefully I will be in soon. I got to keep on top of the electric company and stuff. So here is what the office is. These are new walls. I'm all set. Look, the 70-inch TV ready to run, baby. We're ready to go with that thing. I've got my couch already, got all that stuff going. And downstairs, we've got all the rock wool insulation in. Now I just have to put up a vapor barrier, and I'm going to put up the walls. I'm going to actually use OSB sheathing instead of sheetrock in the walls. So I'll be doing that. I'll probably get some of that done this weekend as well. And hopefully this gets done soon. So, but yeah, I mean, here you go. There's another wall and the front wall, and then how it looks down on my house here. So yeah, hopefully it gets wrapped up soon. I'm hoping so. James Mahan, I change up my own tires on my bicycles. That is, yeah, it's a little different. Allison Foy says happy Father's Day, dads. Thank you all, and thank you, Allison. Robert Shears, do the riots have anything to do with bonds? No, not affecting that at all. Not affect. There's no movement on that. That's why I try to talk about it. Nathan, my folks got married today, 39 years ago. Also a Friday the 13th. Well, happy anniversary to them. I think I'm at 28 years, so I've still got a while to go before I can match up to your parents. So, we're not going there, Max. Not here. I don't have the energy for it. So on that note, I'm wrapping up, y'all. Have a fantastic weekend. I appreciate all of you. I hope you join me on Monday. Hope we don't regret floating, but we will see. So, all right, I'll catch you later. Have a great one, and bye-bye.